Hello and welcome to MotoGP Mac. We have a great podcast this weekend. Got races going on, got personal things, bought a new bike, one of two that I'm getting. Buying parts like a maniac, so because I haven't gotten it, won't have it till tomorrow, Monday here. Just romping and stomping all over the place. Got a lot of things to go over.
Good
Little
stuff.
PO, some things work out well.
Now, before we get into all the bike chat, as you know, I was at the Northwest.
Yes, you were.
100 and man, it just blows your mind. But a couple of things that challenges, I suppose, that we face there is where to go, what to see, how to see it. And throw a massive shout out to Sleepwalker, who was actually marshalling a Marshall Post 2 for the whole event. But he hooked us up, and we actually got to park inside in someone's driveway and everything and watch from there with Sleep. So I do want to give a shout out actually to a guy called Keith McLaughlin, or Tico is his nickname. An absolute legend of a man. He knows everybody with everybody, but he was the hostess with the mostest. Brilliant guy. Himself and his partner, he was actually the main marshal on the thing, but he was some crack to be around. Actually, we had an absolute ball with him, and his partner as well. She was absolutely brilliant. And then there was a fella, and this is what I love about Ireland and the whole road racing thing. It is people will go out of their way to help you, and they found out. Sleepwalker told them that I was a YouTuber, and then I was trying to upload videos, but there was no signal at all, like no data signal at all for 3G or fuck all. Like, do you know what I mean? You could barely call someone. And the guy whose garden we were in opened up his whole house to us. Do you know what I mean? Go in, sit down on the couch, have a beer, have a piss, whatever you want to do. And he turned around, and when he found out that I was a YouTuber and whatever, he said, "Oh, take my Wi-Fi as well, and you can upload your videos and whatever there." So, throw a big shout out to Andy and his family for making us feel at home there.
And you made a damn good video in the meantime too.
Yeah, it's funny. Like it's like videos were shot in the car or in toilets or anywhere this weekend. So look, it was brilliant, and look, I'm very, very thankful for people. We also met Mark Higgins. I don't know, would you know who he is? But he was British rally champion, and he was sitting inside in the garden with us. He's a keen biker as well, so Sleepwalker, and we all got our pictures with him, signed autographs. Joe, just a normal Joe Soap sitting inside in the wall. We're watching bikes go by at 200 mile an hour or whatever, 140 mile an hour. But we had a great spot. They gave us free passes as well into the paddock to meet the riders. So my young fella got a picture with Peter Hickman, who is the fastest man around the Northwest 200 and the Isle of Man TT. And
he's been on a roll lately.
What a guy! Very patient, smiled. Brilliant. I might put it up someday at the end of a video, etc. But yeah, what a weekend! Now I must say I'm wrecked from the drive, but. And we did it in an electric car too, the whole way. So yeah, but look, what an entertaining weekend of MotoGP, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh, and it started out with I'm going over something we missed last week, the World Superbike, and I have folks, how they pick. What Dorna does is in general to make these rules is they look up and they say, how many people are fans and how are they made into fans? And they'll say, well, somebody owns a bike, it makes them a fan. So they say, well, we've got to cater to the people in the stand. So whatever they own, okay, we'll cater to that brand. And it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah. Look, you're obviously talking about the rev limits and this.
Yeah, and the other. But I mean, in general, I'm going over it. It's just wrong. Yeah,
but look. It is right, but
I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about the leveling thing out.
No.
That's the biggest crock of shit. That's
whatever they did this last weekend. Ducati still fucking blitzed them. Right?
But it's not the point. It's the point is they keep doing it. They're going to push them out just like they pushed out Aprilia. Well, if it was the right thing to do, you wouldn't give Kawasaki the RPMs back, but it was the wrong thing to do. That's like saying, well, we did it wrong here, so okay, we'll fix it here, but we'll give it out again.
I get you. And look, Jake, this is not just a Dorna idea. This is that hindrance, let's just say performance hindrance, that's been in many forms of motor racing throughout the years. I remember back even to British touring cars, which is basically, I don't know even what was the point of it, right? But you win a race, you get success balanced. So your car will be more heavy because you won a race. Right,
two wrongs don't make a right. It's just
it is. Yes,
so you're always hitting it, and I mean, come on, they've hit Kawasaki twice and now Ducati twice, but Honda has gotten nothing. Yamaha's gotten nothing.
Yeah,
right. And then on top of that, they give him breaks that having your own being able to modify your chassis is huge, and they give that to Honda and BMW.
Yeah.
It's just like that's a crock of crap.
But
not only do they hinder you on one side, they give the guy performance finds its own level. If we did this way, if they didn't do it to Aprilia, we would have Aprilia back in there fighting against the Ducatis.
You're 100% right in it, Jake.
But
right?
you got fanboy that goes, I don't care. I want my Honda to win. That's a little bitch.
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, whatever we do or say is not really going to change what Dorna do and say, right?
I know, but it made me feel good.
Dorna decide in the morning, today is going to be a beautiful day, even though that it's pissing rain outside. It's a beautiful day outside, and that's the end of it, right? They want their mentality is we give these guys breaks, or we hinder this guy, or we do this. It brings
and they all tell you, but they tell you it's all unfair. It's all unfairness. It's not unfairness.
But what they're saying is it brings the racing closer, and it's not. It's failing. Everyone can see it, right? The biggest. Now, I will be the first one to say that with 11 out of 12 wins this year, it's a bit boring to say who's going to win the race.
Yeah.
Right? 100%. So I get it. I don't like it, but it's still not having the effect that they wanted. They need to take 1,000 revs off the Ducatis to bring it anywhere, right? If they're going to do it, right?
No, you'd actually make out better letting everybody run to the top. When you say performance finds at some level, they do better engineering wise to get rid of the rev limits altogether. Yeah. At this point.
Anyway, right, let's get back to MotoGP because it has been a chaotic week, I suppose. The highlight of the week for me, I nearly crashed the car when I was rewatching it. Coming down the road was Pecco and Vinales having an old handbag session in the middle of the path.
Handbag session. You kill me with that language.
It was just like because they were the two meaningless humps I've ever seen in my life. Do you know what I mean? It was like kindergarten, school.
Yeah, it was like that. When two women fight, and they're
going. Well, two men fight as well, like that too. You know? But I thought it was quite funny. For me, I think it was just a race. It was. It was just a meeting in the middle. Like, you know what I mean? Neither of them were going to get. Like, if I'm honest, Vinales was never going to make the corner at that angle.
No way.
Right. And Pecco was just now. I think Pecco was like even looking at from the day before's race when he was fighting with Marc Marquez. He was in aggressive form for the weekend. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He was like, "Fuck you, you're not taking it." And the two of them, and then I was just pissing myself laughing at the two of them in the gravel trap. Do you know what I mean? When they started fighting. But I suppose the other crash that really scared me was Marini's crash. When I saw that happening, my mind went straight back to Simoncelli.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think that.
Did you see when he came out of the corner, he lost it, his elbow went down, and the bike started to steer back? And that's exactly what happened to Marco Simoncelli. And he was hit.
I might be thinking of somebody else. I thought the bike went down immediately and went
No, you can see him. He is holding on to the bike. His elbow is dug into the ground to pop the bike back up, and the bike popped. And when the bike popped, then Bezzecchi had already gone on the inside of him.
Oh yeah. But you can't stop that.
I know, but that's what my mind immediately went to. Is like, we have another Simoncelli moment here, but then Alex Marquez in the middle of the thing with everyone coming flying at him was a bit of a shit your pants moment as well. I was like, oh, hopefully he gets out of this. But other than that, then though, the race.
No, I didn't think Marquez was move on Bagnaia. It was aggressive, but I didn't think it was that. I thought it was just a normal aggressive move.
Yeah, but Bagnaia is normally not aggressive. And when he was coming back at Marquez, he was being very aggressive for Bagnaia.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything special.
No, but it was just good to see him.
No, it was. It was.
I enjoy
but when Bagnaia went underneath Miller, that she should have never got a penalty for that.
Oh, that was the weekend before, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look,
thank God they didn't get into that mentality, or my God, Marquez would have been, because God, did he run a hell of a race? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, if they held the standard in this race to the previous race, Marquez would have been done before the pit lane opened.
Yeah. Your scooter's too fast.
Yeah. But no, I'll be honest. Today's race, I will be honest, I was actually gutted for him that he crashed.
He was running so hard, unbelievable. Hell of a. Now, I'll tell you what. Did you notice something? That Kalex chassis, put it in perspective. Honda has been working on that chassis for 10 years, right? Kalex did a better chassis in 6 months than they did in 10 stinking years. I mean, these guys always sit there with poor engineering. We're not kidding. I mean, what happens if they go for another 2, like they keep them on for another, 2 years? How good will that chassis be? I mean, realistically, because that's all they do.
Yeah, but look, I think there's a couple of things there, right? The chassis is definitely able to turn better.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's no wonder it's not as good as the Europeans yet, or you know what I'm saying. But it's better.
You can see
it's still a pig, but not a big pig.
You can see it in the fast corners, though. It's still not there. Like
it's a piglet.
If you look at turn 1 that we were there, you could see even Jack Miller was just creasing them every time through that corner.
Oh yeah,
he closed the gap. Pecco was doing it as well. Just at the very apex of the corner, he's still not able, or was not able to carry the real top speed. Like he was a fucking demon on the brakes. But to be honest and fair, I don't think it was the right result that he crashed. Now saying that,
the success there was all Marquez. Let's put it that way. It wasn't a Honda success. It was all.
Look, he's the only one. He was the only one running the Kalex, right?
Right. Still, you could see it was all. It was all him.
The bike is easier. It's appeared for him easier to ride now.
Yes. Good scenario there. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I think he was more comfortable on that. I think he had more feeling, and that's why he could push it more. Obviously, losing the front majority of the crashes that he's had this weekend, he's really pushing that chassis to find.
Oh my God!
So I think it's quite interesting actually to see.
I don't think the bike went in a straight line for any more than 10 feet. It was going like this through the whole race. I mean, it was just.
Yeah, it did have a bit of head shake, but I don't think it was too. How would I say? Nothing he couldn't control. If I'm honest,
I'd say he was holding on by his fingernails that whole time. I'd say Martin baited him into that. He baited him into that. That wasn't. He did that by plan.
Oh yeah, listen. He out Marquez. That's the way I call it, right? Like he put it out there, and he's right, fucker. You come hunt me now, right? And he knew Marquez was going to overdo it. He knew.
Yep.
Like to try and outbrake a Ducati, you have to be fucking mental. Like you have to be. Right. It has to be a different Like
he couldn't out-turn him either. The Ducati was turning a hell of a lot better too. So he thought, I got you on both sides. You can't turn like me, and if you got to follow me into that corner, you're going to go down. And that's what he did. He tried to match his corner speed, and it just
look,
right down.
he pushed too much. And to be fair, right, like it was a nice race for him to come back. I'd say he's learned so much about the Kalex chassis. Can't wait to see what he does in the next one. And I can't wait to see, though, do the rest of the Hondas run that Kalex chassis.
Yeah. I hate to say this, right? Mm-hmm. But I said this 2 years ago. I said, watch Honda, because it's costing them a ton of dollars to do that, to run that to shut Kalex down to do this work, right? Mm-hmm. I could just see them going, well, he came in second. He's looking much better. Okay, job done. Thank you for your services.
Yeah, no.
I bet you don't watch yourself. I'm telling you, they're going to reel that money back in.
I don't know.
They've been relying on his skills for what, 10 years, 12 years?
I still think it needs a Marquez win at somewhere, and then the money will stop flow.
You're right. You're right. He'll get if he gets a win, but it's not going to be. I don't think it'll ever be as good as the European or bikes. They won't make it that good. They'll cut it off. If it is by chance, they're not going to keep pushing to make it better and better and better. Just put it this way: Honda will cut the money off before that.
They will, yeah, but they'll bring it to a certain how I think they'll bring it to a certain level, and then I think they'll say, okay, it's okay now. And look, that's the same honey trap that they fell into. Yamaha have fallen into. You know, it's like they're now relying too much on their strengths. Than their
rider,
their weaknesses, right? But no, look, I thought what a race. Now Bezzecchi, I'm fucking delighted for it. Like, he was on an absolute mission, and I mean mission today. Brilliant, just brilliant.
Yeah,
like you cannot say anything else about how he performed. Lucky, yeah, he didn't crash into his T-bit. But
hate when that happens. Boom! Ouch! You son of a
fuck anyway. But I suppose one of the outstanding rides for me today was Augusto Fernandez. Raul Fernandez.
I knew it. You called that damn right on the money too. And I said, Mac is going to be doing backflips when he sees that.
Yeah.
And deserved it too.
He rode into it. Do you know what I mean? He didn't look into it. Now, I know there was only 13 finishers, right? Mm-hmm. But with Marquez going out ahead of him towards the end of the Grand Prix, he only gained one position. So realistically, he should have been fifth, but he was fourth. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What a fucking ride! Like, he passed Miller fair and fucking square. I know Miller was going backwards, but he passed him fair and square, and he rode absolutely like 6 seconds only back from Bezzecchi. Just shows you the ride that he did. Like, do you know what I mean? And on a big of a bike that Raul Fernandez said was a tub of shit, and he's now whooping his ass. And I'm like, boom. Do you know what I mean?
He was there. Yeah.
Now, what this does do in my own head is like, what do KTM do next year?
Why was Raul out this race?
That now I don't know, but he wasn't on the list, and I noticed that because that was the first thing I looked for. But it doesn't matter anyway. I'm like, he can be fucking in or out or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just curious because he's such a whiny bitch.
Well, I think he could be in trouble. I genuinely at this stage now think he could be in trouble.
Yeah, they'll say it's a racial move or some ridiculous thing again.
Yeah, look, I think his performance on track, like, is not there. You know,
yeah,
and yet certain amount of time given that you get used to your bike. But this rookie has come in and he's beaten him fair and square in a number of races, not just one race. But another another race like this, and I genuinely believe a KTM or Gas have a decision to make. You know,
Yeah.
I think Polo Spagaro, being honest, I think he's gone. Do you know what I mean? I think they won't retain him next year. I think they'll bring Acosta in if Fernandez keeps performing.
I don't think Fernandez is going to keep performing. I think he's I can just see the handwriting on the wall.
Augusto Fernandez or Raul Fernandez?
Raul Fernandez.
Oh, I'm talking about Augusto. I think they'll keep him. I think they keep Augusto. But look, it's very early in the season, but they have Acosta coming up. And they have, I'd say, Mr. Marquez, his talks are fairly advanced as well. Yeah, so.
I think so?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. Like if you were Marc Marquez, right? And maybe though with the Kalex coming good, bringing the bike good.
I don't think he's jumping up and down over that couch. He went back into the pits and he looked pissed off. They said always exhausted, but even if you're happy and you're exhausted, you're still
but you're still gutted that you just crashed out a second or third place. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's crashed so many times. He looked pissed.
I know, but the only time he's scored points this year is in the sprint races.
Yeah, I realize that, but I think he's headed up to here. He wants that bike to be good. He's after a decade, okay, of having to override a bike to beat somebody. Everybody has a point where they go, okay, I had enough.
I agree with you on that, but the thing that I reckon. So, firstly, I always believe that you'd never ride a bike, you always race a bike that you're comfortable to race. Now, the fact that he raced the Kalex straight away tells me that he's happier with the Kalex than the other one. Is it perfect? Probably not. But if he's picking that one over the other one, I would say that that's a right direction that he's feeling to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, progress. But is that going to be enough to keep him towards the end of the year? Doubtful. I think he'll go to KTM if he does jump. I would be very surprised on Ducati. No, listen, Ducati don't need Marquez, and they've said this. You know, which I think.
I know they said it, but they do need him because he's so good. Okay, that if you put him on a KTM or a Aprilia, he's going to dominate.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
There's a big jump between that Honda and the Aprilia and the KTM. They're way better. So he gets on that bike.
Maybe, but look, I would think that he's KTM bound. I think there's a big pull from Red Bull there. You know.
I know. I thought it's the only thing. I agree with you 110%. Other than his brother is on Ducati, and his brother cannot say that he's not getting treated well at Ducati.
Yeah. Look, there's that, but I don't know. I think Ducati would be reluctant to take up. No. And I
think that's smoke and mirrors on that. I think they'll take it in a heartbeat.
I think, yeah, but
apparently have a party afterwards.
Yeah,
I know if I was in their position, I would.
Who would you take though? Would you take Fabio? Or would you take Marc?
Ooh.
Because Fabio is going to be on the market too.
I'd have to take Marc because his raw speed. His raw speed is still over Fabio's. I'm sorry. He is a one of a kind.
So
even though as a rider, who's my favorite rider would be Fabio because he has much more class. He doesn't tow. I mean, Marquez was towing again. He thinks he's God's gift. He just might as well just shoot he goes by the rule guys. He goes, by the way, I'm on a Honda, and shoots him the finger and just keeps doing whatever he feels like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has the attitude all day long.
But that's a world champion's attitude.
He's over the top though. I've never seen it. Even a world. Kenny Roberts was a dick, but he wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, but look, there's a lot of people dicks, and they're in really good positions. But look, I just think for him, yeah, the way I just see Ducati lining up is kind of younger, and I know that sounds very, very, very bad, but like you've Pecco 26, the Beast is quite young.
Yeah.
I see Bezzecchi going there next year.
Definitely, without a doubt.
And then that leaves the one spot open in the factory team.
And another thing
I
about
think
one thing that's on your side there for that is Ducati is more. They have a passion for racing. When they have a passion for racing, I don't think they want to put up with him. They will not put up with him being a team manager, a junior team manager. They're going to be like, "You're a rider, okay? You do what we tell you."
shut and fucking right, yeah.
Yes,
Do your job.
I don't hear that shit we did before. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think I don't know. I think he immediately knows he'll be faster on anything other than a Honda and a Yamaha.
no, that goes without saying, right?
So I think,
and the KTM's looking real good.
yeah, man, it fucking turns. Do you know what I mean? It's quick.
Yeah, and it has motor. That's what you know what? Look at it. Nobody says anything, but look at the motor that has on it. When it comes out with the Ducatis, look at the acceleration it has.
But even look at the extremes that KTM are willing to go. Like, if you look at it, like, even look at their testing program this year. We looked at their testing program. We said, fuck, they're screwed. Do you know what I mean? The bike looked like a pig. It wouldn't turn, wouldn't do this, it wouldn't do that. All of a sudden, they had worked out over testing. We need this component, this component, this component, this component. And then at Portimao, and race weekend, they built it.
I think I think you're on the money there because you can't fix something over a test period now. I think they had it already. They just didn't put it in the bike. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they were just finding which bits are which bits and which are working, which are not, and then put that out there, and it seemed to work. Now, Jack does burn the tires off it. Binder's one looks like it fucking has a hinge in the middle of it. Do you know what I mean? And,
you know what? Even when Miller was on Ducati or whatever, did you ever notice you'll have everybody running a medium front tire?
Soft.
And he goes soft. And the tire, and he always does that, and the tire goes shot.
Yeah,
you think somebody would tap him on the shoulder and say, Jack, how many times are you going to pull this? If you think you want a soft, go medium, give it a shot.
Yeah. Look, he's not.
Doesn't it make sense? I mean, it's not like it's happened once or twice.
It does, but look, it's hard to tell the rider go on those tires that he doesn't want to go on. Do you know what I mean? But look, at the end of the day, he's making his few pound. He is doing pretty well in the championship. Life is pretty good for him. So,
yeah.
Like, if you then look over to the blue side of the corner, and you see Fabio. Now, Fabio had a very original excuse for today's race performance.
Original.
I've never heard this one.
You're rough on Yamaha, and he is, and Mac is an avid Yamaha fan.
His excuse today was that he had a too vigorous massage before the race. His physio gave him a deep muscle.
Oh, you're full of shit. That's a rumor mill thing.
No, it's apparently that it was out there. So that's why
you're shitting me.
I shit you not.
No. Oh God.
Yeah, that it wasn't the bike today. Well, it probably was, but it was his masseuse or his physio.
I can see a bunch of Japanese go, what are we going to say?
Japanese.
Massage. We have too much massage. That's what we tell them.
So let me bring up his excuse today. I don't view this is Fabio's quote from the race today. I don't view this as a recovery race because 6 riders crashed ahead of me. I had a physical issue halfway through the race. This morning, I had been to the clinic. I had treatment on my arm, but for me, it was too aggressive. I never had this issue before, and after the treatment today, I have very bad arm pump. I could have been much faster, but there's actually a positive that I take away from today. We could have gone faster with the bike in the race. The plan for Mugello is our crew to keep using the same setting as today. I feel disappointed that I could have got a better result. Yeah. So basically, he had an arm pump as a result from the therapy that he had this morning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think you should have went with crabs. I'm sorry. I had the crabs. They're itching.
I had it.
It's like guys got halfway through the race and itching.
Itching like a bitching. Yeah, look, I think it was quite weird, if I'm honest, but yeah.
I think I'll make a prediction. I think that Yamaha is going to go back to exactly what they had last year. Right now, they're afraid of blowing motors, right? So they're trying to make the aero do the work, but they're lessening that aero to get top speed. I think they're going to ditch that and say, let the thing blow if it's going to blow.
I think they're
going to go with more aero. They're going to go with the harder aero package to get the handling back. And if the engine blows, and they probably will, go for it.
I was actually watching qualifying.
Yeah.
No, I was watching qualifying after. I couldn't get any phone signal in Port Stewart, so I had to go out to Coleraine to get phone signal, right? And I watched qualifying. No, sorry, I'm wrong. It was Friday evening, and I was watching Fabio with 20 minutes to go. He put the soft tire in, brand new rubber, 0.3 of a second faster. That's what they have to solve. Like, you put brand new soft in. You should be gaining 6, 9, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If you're on a bike that's not fast, needs to take wide arcing lines, and you have 10 bikes in front of you, you fucking 10 roadblocks. You're not going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? And you could see it in the race.
Yeah,
he had no hope.
He doesn't have the side grip. It looks like he doesn't have the side grip, and he's hitting he's going only out to the edge. You can't pull the bike into the apex. You don't have enough grip, and it starts pushing you out to the edge. On track day, you've been done track days, right?
Yep.
That's what he still looks like. He doesn't have a side grip on it.
Yeah, it just looks like a very sad bike, to be honest. It looks slow. And listen, as we say over and over again, I am a massive Yamaha fan. I got called during the week. I got someone saying that I was biased against Japanese. Yes, I'm a Yamaha fan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and believe it or not, I have Japanese bikes too. I know it'll probably shock you. We're just calling it like it is.
But look, the Yamaha.
So, what do you go back to for that guy? I can tell you right now, the last 15 years in a row, the European bikes have beat the Japanese bikes in every single comparison all over the world. It didn't happen by accident. Okay?
My goal for 2023, Jake, is to get you to say Japanese.
Japanese.
Yay!
But it's the truth. I mean, they don't even you have a comparison, and they'll say, "Well, we didn't bring the Japanese bikes in because, we know what's going to happen. They're just going to be in the back anyway, right?" How do these people not see this? It's not you're being biased. It's just having eyes and ears.
I want to be honest, Joe. I'm not going to defend Yamaha because I'll be very honest. I'm very angry at Yamaha. Do you know what I mean? As a Yamaha fan,
Yamaha always had the most innovation of the Japanese.
But I want to tune in. I want to tune in to see them doing well, and then I see this, and I'm like going, "What's happened? Where has this all gone wrong? Why is it going wrong?" And it's, for me, I want Yamaha to win. I'm very happy for Yamaha to win.
I wanted to see him. I want to see him keep the honestly as a memento. I want to leave him see the last inline fork. Just keep it going. Competitive and keep it going because they're the last one, so we don't have everything the same. That's why I like KTM having the old type steel trellis chassis. It's something different. When you like engineering, you like.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it the old style chassis anymore. You know what I mean?
They have done so much with what's supposed to have been dead at 200 horsepower. But
yeah. So, but look, go back to Yamaha. They need to sort their shit out. And look, at the end of the day, I would nearly go and say, are they facing a Honda type problem with that? Is there a communication issue? And I think Razlan said it best when he was talking with about the difference between working with Aprilia and working with Yamaha. And he said, when we were working with the guys on Aprilia's program, he's like, you're talking to the problem solver. So you were talking to the guy that's going to get the problem fixed, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas when you're working with Yamaha, you're talking to an engineer who writes it on a clipboard, and it may or may not be resolved.
Well, they're never. I mean, they always had the best innovation. No, they're not as good as the Europeans, but they were better than the other Japanese.
But yeah, look, now I will say, right, and Crayfair has said this: the engine is faster this year, right? Which is great, but it's caused a whole lot of other problems, which are in Yamaha's ballpark.
But Crayfair said the same thing as you did, though. He said it's not that the engine has more horsepower; it's so much as that they rework the aero to allow that the same horsepower to give you more miles per hour.
But the application of how they're able to get that power to the ground coming out of the corner, that has improved. And that's not due to aero, it's the drivability off the corner.
Yes. If you have a better drivability off the corner, if you don't have as much wheel spin, things of that nature. Yeah.
But the problem then is that increasing this, coming into the corner another 5 kilometers an hour faster or slower, creates other problems. So, but look, I think overall, like I absolutely hate seeing Yamaha where they are. It really fucking irks me.
Oh, and by the way, folks, Suzuki was at a dead end with their inline 4 also. Even our boy CrashNet had said it. He goes, the reason they left MotoGP is they were at a dead end also. That's with the inline 4, and they think that's why they didn't have enough money to go and make a V4. He says that's why Suzuki, because he knew how many times they blew up. They really kept that under wraps.
Yeah, well, look, engines blow, right? and they do.
Well, we all know engines blow, but you know what I'm saying. When it does, they blow excessively. Let's put it that way.
I saw Paget's Honda engine blow this weekend, right? Paget's are fucking bulletproof, right? Clive Paget, one of the best fucking teams out there, right? Engine blew. Davey Todd down the fucking straight, filled the place with smoke, right? What's his name? BMW, TAS Racing BMW cooked their Superbike engine during a fucking race. It does happen. It does for no fucking reason whatsoever, right? Well, obviously there's a reason, but
yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It happens when you least expect it most. Like when I'm looking at what goes on with Yamaha and Honda, I think they're both in the same mindset right now of, and look, we've said this for months. They're engineering a bike, and the Europeans are engineering a machine. Do you know what I mean? And there's different parts of that machine go together. So you have your engine, chassis, aero, all of this. And they see it as
they're engineering it as a whole. They're just a lot stronger in engineering. Period.
Well, no, but it's not even that, right? If you look at how the aero is mounted on a Ducati versus how the aero is mounted on a Honda or a Yamaha or whatever, you won't see any nuts and bolts and fucking screws on the Ducati. All of that aero surface is smooth. Right? So that tells you someone has sat down and thought about how does this need to be mounted to this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's glued on or it's whatever.
You're saying that they do it as a whole, which is part and parcel being a strong engineer.
Yeah. It's just the concept is different. Do you know what I mean? It's not just about creating a bike. And like when we were talking about Honda taking off all the aero, I think that was probably the best thing that they ever did. Because that brought it back to...
it showed that they were in real trouble, but it was a smart idea.
Yeah, they now have a baseline to where the mechanical grip of that is.
Right.
Now put that into a guy like Marc Marquez's head, right? And then you get him to try different chassis, that he can feel that straight away. He can know what's aero, what's not aero, what's chassis grip, what's not chassis grip.
Oh, by the way, you were right then. You were right. When they took all that aero off, he said, I bet you that was Kalex idea. I'm sure it was. They said, well, what do we have at the bottom? Because how do we know where to start if you don't have more money with all this your old stuff on there? I have no idea where to
start. I heard that last week that Kalex chassis was in Japan.
Another one?
No, that one that Mark was running.
Okay. Oh, they're going to try to make it themselves now?
No, I think the engineers wanted to understand, or they were running it in a private test over there. I don't know.
You're not allowed to do that.
You can. You can. Yeah, you absolutely can. Motegi, I think, is one of their allotted circuits where they can do private tests.
Oh, I didn't think you could take somebody else's stuff and then, all right, maybe I'm wrong.
No, but like they could have one of their Japanese riders or their test riders ride it, but they would use their allotted tires for testing to ride it. So you name 3 or 4 tracks that you can test,
right?
And you can do all your testing in one day if you want to.
Yeah, right.
But I think they brought that over and they ran it in Japan.
Okay.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Also steal the ideas of what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, Christ, if they couldn't fix it in 10 years and Kalex fixed it, did a better job in 6 months, you know, you can see the Kalex guys, I swear, I can see in my head, they're going, the German guys are like, who are the idiots? No, that doesn't
work. Yeah. Well, look, it definitely answers the question. And like when I saw the frame, it definitely answered the question that this wasn't a tweak. You know,
no,
the spars were different, the welds were different.
Yeah.
One of the things actually I want to talk about is the penalty for Brad Binder. Did you see what happened there?
No, I didn't pick up that because I had somebody come in and I turned.
So at one point, I think he took a shortcut or whatever. Now, it was like through the.
He did. I saw he took a shortcut and then somebody came in, but yeah.
And then he got the long lap for it. It was probably right, to be fair. You know,
I didn't see it,
but like he was trying to pass Jack, and he ran wide, and he took the shortcut, and he went back behind Jack, and I'm kind of like. Okay, the rules are that you need to lose X amount of time if you take a shortcut, and he didn't. So I suppose it's fair, but like he was ahead of Jack, or sorry, he was diving up the inside, and then he ran it, and he still ended up behind Jack. Do you know what I mean? Even taking the shortcut, so I'm like, just let the fuckers race. Like, do you know what I mean? Why? Like, why interrupt a good battle? But look, I suppose rules are rules. He was done for it. What was the other one? Martin. Yeah, I thought Martin would go with Bezzecchi after watching him in the sprint race. I thought he would pull the pin. So I was quite surprised that.
Yeah, but he started to hit. You could see his tires were starting to go off. You thought he was going to catch up to. You thought he was going to catch up to. He thought he was going to catch up to the Bezzecchi.
Yeah,
I didn't think so. I thought he just has enough to get past Marquez. I thought he would show up a lot of tire getting past Marquez.
Yeah.
I was hoping it just wasn't a lot of body work trying to get past Marquez. I was just waiting for that last, smash into you technique.
Well, look, they're Martin and Marquez are not friends, right? And
right.
They've had a lot of pushing back and forward in the press over the past couple of weeks, since his Portimao incident. But it was good to see them battle on the track, and to be fair to them, it was fairly clean.
Yeah.
Now this is an interesting chat that I was having with Sleepwalker actually over penalties on Thursday night, actually. And it's very funny that myself and Steve Walker are really of the same opinion on this, is that, and it just shows from club racing and all of this, it's like when you set off before you go out on a race or whatever, there's two things that you accept. One, you could get seriously injured or die. And the second one is that you accept that your bike will come back with different colors on it than it went out with. And that could be other riders, fairing, bashing, and it's an acceptable thing. I don't want it to get into a stage of where contact is not. I don't genuinely think there's a rider out there that sets out to say, right, I'm gonna fucking duff him. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But saying that,
even Marquez, I think he just goes, if they get in my, I think if he starts at the beginning of this, I think he goes, if they get in front of me, I'll bash into him. I think he does have that attitude.
He does have that attitude that I'll make it fit.
Yeah, but that's wrong. That and I'm a Marquez fan. You don't say. I think the rule of thumb has always been 31 inches, right? It's the side of a doorway, right? A doorway plus 3, 28 plus 3. Anyhow, he knows. He'll say, well, I want it to be 24, or I want it to be 18, and I'll bash my way through that. That's not right.
But Rossi did it.
No, you can. No. Yes, he did, but you can count how many times Rossi did it. Oh yeah, he did it with this rider, and he did it with this rider. He did it. You could a few times where you could pick out the incidents. Marquez has done it so many times you can't even. It's like
no. What I mean by that is that for me, it's acceptable for a bit of bumping and bashing, lap 1, lap 2, and second last lap and last lap. For me, that's
what I said. I don't even go. I don't think even the first lap. I say let it go. But the penultimate, the second to last lap.
You kind of have. You kind of have to though in the first couple of laps because they're all still together.
All right, I'll give you that when they're. So it's not brutal.
Like, listen, I'll tell you something. Right, we were at the Northwest, and we were watching the first wave and the second wave of bikes coming through. Right, and the first wave were all the fucking pro riders. Right. And they weren't giving each other a fucking inch. Now, like you have to remember, right? There's lampposts, walls, people.
Yeah,
and these boys were just like, and you would see it like, they would come back and they would have bits of rubber on their leathers or on their bike or whatever from an incident coming down into your carpet. And for me, in the first laps, that's acceptable because you're jockeying for position. There's no real room. Do you know what I mean? There's MotoGP. There's 23 bikes within 8 meters of in the best cases, all trying to get into the turn fast. So I think, but I don't want this to turn into a game of bowls where you all have to be nice to each other and dress and be pleasant. Do you know what I mean? I want people to be aggressive. I want people to fucking go for that gap if it's there. Like, do you know what I mean? And like we saw in Jerez, we saw
like Formula One. I swear to God, Formula One. It looks like they have to ask permission to make a pass.
I did send you that, didn't I? The permission to pass slip there.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And look, I don't want it to get to that stage, right? That's where the riders are thinking, do I need to, like, if I pass here, like, I remember my days of racing was, fuck it, I'll have a go, and we'll fight about it after. Do you know what I mean? We fight it in the stewards' room after if we need to.
Right.
I would prefer to have that than finish fucking second. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, and that was the mentality to tune into to be a racer. Now, okay, there's the Marquez level of it. There was Rossi had it. Do you know what I mean? Biaggi had it. They all had the little bit of, I call it ignorance, that they will just fuck it, send it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's changing. And I think Steve was very right when he said it, that around characters and this, that, and the other. So Marquez would bump his way through someone. 90% of the stewards would expect that. Expected behavior from Marc Marquez. Doesn't make it right or wrong, but it doesn't show them either. Whereas Fabio Quartararo comes through and starts bumping his way through the paddock, the stewards would be flabbergasted at it because they'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Do you know what I mean? Is he?
Yeah, but that's also a little bit of I call it fanboy syndrome, where the Dorna is going, well, we want a Honda to win because we have more Honda fans. That's Fabio. Fabio has always stated, who's the other? Fabio, Martin, they all say if you're on a Honda, you don't get a penalty.
Exactly.
And it don't look that way, now does it?
Yeah. Look, I just find it very weird. Look, that we're trying to stop people and I know they're at.
But I think this race showed that they're going back to it. I think
I think they've had to. I think there was a lot of venom out there from the fans to be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What am I going here for if you can't race?
Yeah, exactly. Hello, sir. Can I, dear Mr. Binder, I request to pass you at turn 12 on lap 14. Is this okay? Tick yes for okay or no for fuck off. Right.
What happened to Binder? Binder seemed to go up strong and then fade back.
No, he didn't. That was Jack. Jack was strong, and Binder.
Right.
But Binder actually got a nudge through, I think, turn.
No, I know.
He ran wide.
Faded back, but I thought Binder did it also.
No. Yeah, Binder went off. Alex Marquez and Binder.
Oh, that's right. They came together and took the air off. He smashed the air off, didn't he?
I don't know what happened to him because the phone I was watching on was quite small, but they did touch and he went towards the back of the field then, so he had to actually fight his way back through, which is fairly good. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but look, I think all in all, I think it was a pretty good weekend.
Yes.
Except
folks, I got a new bike.
Ooh,
coming tomorrow. Yes, I couldn't help it. I got an itch to buy a bike. The Aprilia RS V4 was totally revamped in 21, so I got a new one. There's the underslung swing arm, new chassis, all new engine parts. If they're up that thing like it's a race bike in that V4. So
that's an 1100 now, right?
Yep. Right. That's all the bells and whistles and
fart can.
And fart can. Do you know how much fart cans are cost now?
Mm-hmm.
Just the little ones you slide on. You know they used to be $200.
No.
Right? Now they're like $1,000.
Yeah.
I have to shit myself. Hold on a second. I just put in an Apropovic, right, on my
well, at least you didn't say a Krapovich.
A Krapovich, right? Apropovic on the BMW, right, in 2020 or almost 2021. That cost me $600 even, right?
Just for the fart can.
Well, it has the fart can and the the leading pipe up to it, right?
Okay, yeah.
But that's crazy. The same thing, right? Going on the Aprilia is like $1,300. It's double.
Yeah, because it's an Italian beautiful bike.
No, I think it's our Biden's inflation. Our dollar is going to shit.
My God, I have a full on titanium system on the R6. My absolute favorite.
I got a full one on the F4RR. My full one on the F4RR with a SC Project was $1,700. But that's and then I bought. Excuse me, I'm lying because then I bought Botus headers too. It's the big headers. But still, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than the. Now that just the can of the SC Project, just the can at the end is $2,000.
Yeah. Yeah, don't you just love bike parts? So you will have a Ducati, a BMW.
Yep.
The Aprilia.
F4.
The F4. The Kawasaki.
Kawasaki. 5 of them.
5 of them in the
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 5 of the premium bikes. 2 scooters.
Just keep minding my F4, will you?
Oh yeah, yes. I think we might have to might reflash it, but I don't know. It'll go even faster.
I I was talking.
That's probably my fastest bike because that's worked it up. I think it is my fastest bike.
Yeah.
Even faster than Ducati.
Now, to be fair, the RSV4 and the F4 do it for me. So they're bikes I can go. Yeah.
No, the thing about that is, my God, it handles so well. The F4RR handles like unbelievable.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there for this week. Jakey Boo. We have. I might try and get another guest on for next week. Actually,
I think I'm still going to stay. I'm going to predict Fabio's going to have within 2 races going to get back on track.
Whoa!
I think he's going to come back.
I think he's no fucking choice.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he'll be shooting for podiums again. I think they're going to unwind what they did.
I think they'll have to.
Now, if it blows up on the side of the road, don't give him hell for it. That's part of the deal, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have to say I'm losing faith in what's going on with Yamaha at the moment. I think it will be what it will be. You know, I think they have a massive asset in Fabio, and they're complacent.
And what do you think Honda's going to do now?
It just depends on how Mark digests this race weekend. I think he's gone into the race weekend in a very good mindset of I'm going to improve or I'm going to crash. And
I think he's going to go. He's going to have to ride 120%, up from 110%. It's almost all luck. Can he stay on the bike? He's got to override that bike so much. It's all down to luck. See if he can keep it on 2 wheels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's where it's going to be. I think there's an awful lot of luck, but
it's great watch and ride, though, isn't it? The talent.
Yeah. Look, the talent today was just like there was no other Honda rider near him. No, there was no other Honda rider with the fucking equipment either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
why wouldn't you run somebody else with it on there? It doesn't make sense.
It's fucking Honda. It's just Honda.
Why not give it to Mir? But the other guys crashed out.
Yeah. Like the only Honda finished was Taka.
That's a rarity, huh?
And he only finished in I think 9th, and he only finished there because everyone else fucking crashed out.
Right. He's usually the first one down.
Yeah. So look, I think Marquez is approaching things in the right way. Crash or learn or improve. He, in my view, he was outstanding this weekend.
Yeah, unbelievable. It was phenomenal to watch.
But you know,
he'd be an idiot. He'd have to be an idiot though to stay. With the record they have, you know.
He'd have to be. To be fair, he'd need to cop the fuck on now. Yep, get out. Anyway, radio. We'll wrap it up there for this week. We'll try and get another guest on. I'm talking to a guy called Manxman. Manxman from the Isle of Man, which racing starts there on the 29th of May. Which would be interesting just to get his thoughts of how the island is before the main event. And for those of you who have made it all the way to this part, we did have Craig Scarborough on. However, there was a problem with the audio, so we're either going to try and get him to reshoot with us, or I'm going to chop it up and get the good bits out that I can get out. But the audio, he was breaking up, and unfortunately.
Oh man, that was a great interview too.
Yeah,
you like tech. You like it was phenomenal.
Yeah, but so look, if we do that, we'll go from there. Anyway, radio. So we'll wrap it up for this week. Have a good one, guys.
Take it easy, folks.